Hi guys, welcome to English Kaksha again. Today we are going to do third poem of 12th class, Keeping Quiet. It is very interesting poem and written by Pablo Neruda. First we will learn about the poet, then we will learn about the poem. What kind of poem is Keeping Quiet? After learning about the poem, we will do line to line explanation. And that line to line explanation will help you to understand the poem very easily. So now let's start your poem Keeping Quiet. It is composed by Pablo Neruda. Before we start the poem, we will read about the poet. What kind of poet is Pablo Neruda? Pablo Neruda is influential and most read poet of America. Influential means impressive. His writings were very impressive that most of the Americans used to read about his work. His real name is Neftali Ricardo Reyes Baselto. His poems are full of easily understood images which makes them no less beautiful. Means less of the images are put or used in his literary work, but still the message is clear to the readers. He won the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1971. What kind of poem it is? Let's learn it. Title of the poem is Intriguing. Intriguing means interesting, attractive, as it is named as Keeping Quiet. What does keeping quiet mean here? So this is very attracting for the readers. It conveys the idea that the world needs a short respite. Respite means a short break and a short interval of peace. The poet appeals to stop violence and to live in peace like brothers. This is the main appeal that the poet is doing to the readers, or he is appealing to the people that stop violence and live in peace like brothers. He suggests to count up to 12. 12 means the counting numbers, and that will enable us to introspect. This introspect is very important word. Throughout the poem you will read about this. What kind of introspection he is demanding from the people and what will be the effect or the significance of this introspection. Here it is given that will help us to lead a better mutual understanding. Means introspection will help the people to make a better mutual understanding. Now we will see what is given in 1 to 6 lines. First we will read this. Now we will count to 12 and we will all keep still. For once on the face of the earth, let's not speak in any language. Let's stop for 1 second and not move our arms so much. What is given in these lines? For once. For once means on this occasion only. The occasion or the activity on which it is organized, that is called for once. Right? Now we will count to 12. Here the poet is saying that he will count, or we all will count up to 12. We will count 1 to 12 numbers and we all keep still. And during that moment when he will count to 12, all people will keep still for that much time only. For once on the face of the earth, and for this occasion only, we should not speak any language. For the sake of the earth on which we are living. It means he wants that the people on all the earth, even if it is for once only, they should keep still and say nothing. They should not speak in any language, even if it is for a second only. Right? And during this time, what they will do? There will not be any physical movement. 1 second. If it is a time of 1 second, during that 1 second only they will not do or make any physical movement. Then what will be the result of that stillness, of that quietness? Let's see in the next lines. It would be an exotic moment. Exotic. Without rush, without engines. We would all be together in a sudden strangeness. What will be the result of that quietness, of that stillness? He's saying that, and during that little time, they should not make any physical moment. They will find it very sweet and unusual moment. That is exotic moment. Exotic means attractive. Because it is unusual. Vichitra. Vichitra बोलते हैं ना जो बिल्कुल different है. Right? Exotic moment. It will be an exotic moment without rush. People will not be in any hurry. There will not be any machines that will work for the people. We would all be together and we will stand in a queue, we will stand in a line, and then we will realize. What we will realize? The strange feeling of togetherness. Strangeness means togetherness. We will experience that we all are together. Fishermen in the cold sea would not harm whales, and the man gathering salt would look at his hurt hands. Actually, in these lines, he is giving or imagining the change of the introspection. But he is saying that fisherman in the cold sea would not harm whales, and the man gathering salt would look at his hurt hands. When there will be a complete introspection, that will bring a change and different people. How? Fishermen, the people who are gathering fishes from the cold sea, would stop harming the whales. Why they will stop harming? They will fish only. That much is necessary for their life, right? And they will be satisfied with whatever they have collected or whatever they are having in their life. And along with him, the man who is gathering salt from seashore would at least look at his hurt hands. When he is collecting the salt, his hands are injured. Namak kaat deta na haathon ko. That's why it is called hurt hands, right? And he will also get time to look at his hurt hands, and then after he will realize or he will feel satisfaction with as much as he has already collected. Those who prepare green wars, wars with gas, wars with the fire, victory with no survivors, would put on clean clothes and walk about with their brothers. In the shade, doing nothing. This is also very, very important. He is saying that the people who prepare green wars means the warmongers who are always having the will to create or to organize war among the people. This quiet introspection will lead everyone to come out of their greed, selfishness and cruelty. And the warmongers, those who are creating war every time, will give up their lust. Lust means greed for war and start living like brothers. Those who are preparing wars with gas, they are creating new weapons with the fire, victory with no survivor. They are always creating the war, but they are not thinking that there will not be any men on this earth who will survive after. Would put on clean clothes, and during this introspection will also help them to realize what harm they are doing to the people, what harm they are doing to this earth, and then they will be very peaceful at their mental status and they will follow the path of peace. That's why it is said would put on clean clothes. इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि वो साफ सुथरे कपड़े पहन के चल देंगे. It means they will shun of their thoughts of creating wars. वो सारे उन विचारों को दूर कर देंगे. And then after they will walk about with their brothers. They will also involve in that race of introspection and doing without nothing. They will not do anything for the war, right? Now we will read lines 21 to 25. These are very, very important lines. What I want should not be confused. Means the poet is saying here that whatever he is urging to the people or requesting the people, they should not be misunderstood with that idea. With total inactivity, life is what it is about. I want no truck with death. No truck means no connection. Truck means connection. In these lines he is saying that we should learn to keep still and look within. We have to introspect ourselves. By saying so, he doesn't mean that we should stop all activity. And he says that his suggestion of introspection should not be confused with total inactivity. What he says is concerned with life, not with death. He says that we should keep our lives moving. Okay. Now next lines. If we were not so single-minded about keeping our lives moving and for once could do nothing, perhaps a huge silence might interrupt this sadness of never understanding ourselves and of threatening ourselves with death. What he is saying in these lines? He is saying that if we were not so single-minded, if we are not pursuing our actions with single-minded devotion, अगर हम determined ही नहीं हैं what we are doing and for why we are doing, it means about keeping our lives moving. Why we are keeping our life like this and for once could do nothing. Then he is saying that if we don't do so, we shall land ourselves in a very sad situation. तो हमारे लिए बहुत ही सैड सिचुएशन है. हम क्या कर रहे हैं, क्यों कर रहे हैं, अगर हमें यही क्लियर नहीं है तो फिर कुछ करने या ना करने से कोई फ़र्क ही नहीं पड़ता. Perhaps a huge silence might interrupt this sadness. That's why he is saying that if we will be able to understand ourselves, then threatening ourselves with death, then we shall threaten ourselves with living death. The only way to stop such a thing from happening is to go into great silence. If we will do deep introspection, that will be helpful for the human beings to develop a mutual understanding. And then after, we can vanish, or we can end all the doubts, all the ill will, all the grudges that we are having for the other people. Right? In simple words, you can say that the poet is saying that we shall never be able to understand ourselves, and then we shall be as good as dead. Right? Now next lines. Perhaps the earth can teach us, as when everything seems dead and later proves to be alive. Now I will count up to 12 and keep you quiet, and I will go. This is very, very important stanza, or the lines that is giving the message of the poem. Here the poet is saying that perhaps the earth can teach us. What earth can teach us? We can learn from the earth what the earth does to itself. अर्थ क्या करती है, हम उसे सीख सकते हैं. As when everything seems dead and later proves to be alive. Winter, when winter comes, when everything withers and dies. जब सर्दियाँ आती है तो सब कुछ डेड डेड लगता है. डेड कैसे लगता है? बिखर जाता है सर्दियों में. फ्लावर्स, पौधे मुरझा जाते हैं. And then later proves to be alive. But when the spring comes or summer comes, it again come to its life. Now I will count up to 12. He is saying that we have to learn the same spirit. We have to learn the same spirit. How? A little of introspection can end wars and bring peace, brotherhood and harmony in the world. The poet here actually illustrating that by giving the example of the earth itself. He says that we can learn from the example of the earth. Like in winter, the earth becomes so still and silent that it seems to be dead. But later in spring, it is proved that it is alive, not dead. It has new beauties, new colors added to it. Similarly, after a little silence or the stillness of introspection, man can resume the journey of life with a fresh energy, with a new outlook. And then after, he is appealing to the people and saying that I will count up to 12 and you will introspect yourself for a while and then I will go. Right? So in these lines, he is giving the message of deep introspection. How deep introspection can help the people. In this poem, we are not having any literary devices. Only the lines were given. That's why with the meanings it is explained to you. Thank you.